This is not hard to fix if you've identified the root cause.
Yeah.
We talked about that pelvis. You just need to do like a little bit more arm swing. That's going to get your pelvis moving a little bit better. That like simple. Okay. So we're seeing that the foot is landing a little bit like plantar flex, right? We're going to say, hey, focus on knee, drive the knee a little bit more and relax your foot. It doesn't have to be extremely difficult changes with this.
Yeah.
The secret sauce is in figuring out what's the primary thing that I can really focus on. And that's where a truly objective gait analysis is going to help you to figure out what's the chicken, what's the egg, where do I need to focus on? And getting a gait analysis is going to be a big part of that. But the fix is relatively easy once you've identified it. Like the mobility, okay, hey, like you're going to start doing some calf raises with your toes elevated. That's an exercise that's been studied very well. A heel raise in toe dorsiflexion, right? You basically roll up a towel, make your toes kind of come off the ground, and you do a heel raise where you're coming up and working out your calf. That's a pretty well documented exercise that works well for plantar fascia patients. So these fixes aren't hard. It's knowing when to do them, who for, what type of plantar foot pain. It all comes back to that personalization where there's no one thing that can fix everyone.
Well, I think I'm glad you said some examples of what it looks like to gait retrain, because what it does not look like is saying, hey, you're landing a little, 7 degrees out on the outside of your foot, make that like 4. That's not the cue. The cues are so much more intuitive and understandable, and it takes trying the cue and seeing, did the cue accomplish the goal, which means you have to reassess the gait again. And so it's, if you're someone who has access to a PT who's doing this kind of stuff, it's not going to be you learning how to understand the difference between 7 and 4 degrees. You're going to get cues that actually make sense to you, which is great.